Now, I've heard a story about you. You know, I heard that there was a petrol station right next to where you used to live. You did not hesitate. You went straight away, and luckily for you, the owner was right there working at that time. And you asked him for a job, and you got that job as well. So, tell me more about that story. And also, we would really like to know, like, what kind of part-time jobs have you done?
Alright, so regarding that story, I live by philosophy that good things come to people who ask for good things. So yeah, as long as you've got the courage to ask someone something, the worst response you could get is a no or a you. So considering what you asked, so yeah, I walked up to the owner of the petrol station and just asked him whether there were any vacancies, and luckily there were, and yeah, I landed that job without too much trouble.
Yeah.
As for all of the other jobs that I've worked as a CEO of Facebook and director at. Just kidding. All right. So I worked as a wait staff at wait staff at restaurants. I've worked as customer service representative. I've worked as team leader at certain companies. I've also done Uber Eats deliveries, and I've also worked as a cable assembler for a solar panel company. So yeah, I've done a lot of different types of jobs over the last 3 years, but each and every job has had its own challenges, and every job has just gone on to polish me and make me a better individual and make me a little bit more contextually smart.
Mm-hmm. So, are there any kind of part-time jobs that you would recommend to students who are coming here? Like initially, I know it is not very easy to get a job. Although you told us about your story where you did not hesitate, you went straight for that opportunity and you got it also. But in your opinion, are there any part-time jobs that are easy to get for students who come here, and like what should be their plan of action?
Yeah, so the first one being Uber Eats or Uber X. So like it's these two jobs are actually jobs for which you don't exactly need to interview, as long as you've got a license for Uber Eats, a Victorian license that is, not a Victorian license, actually an Australian license. As long as you've got a license for that and you've got a vehicle on which you can do deliveries, you're set. For Uber X, however, there's a little bit more, let's say, requirements, but those requirements, they change from time to time. So yeah, it's just better to go on Google and just search it up. So yeah, these two jobs are easy to get. Other than that, like restaurant wait staff is a job that is always in high demand. So that's also something that's good to start with.
Mm-hmm. And I've also seen a lot of people getting their security licenses. Are those kind of jobs also easy to get here?
Yeah, so the security license thing, it's a bit of a process. So it takes about 20-21 days if you are going regularly to the security institute and the security license institute, and getting that certification done, and then going to the police and then getting your fingerprints done and everything. So that's also easy to get. However, in the beginning, if you're coming over here, I would certainly recommend staying away from it for a little while and try and go for another job, get a little bit more experience, at least for a month or two, and then try and see that whether you're set for the security job or not. Because in the security one, you're going to be interacting with a lot of different people, and if you're completely new to Australia and you don't exactly know how to deal with certain groups of people, it can get a little bit tricky.
Yeah, on the interaction with the Australian people and everything, do you really, I am really fascinated by the slang, which is, I think it's very different to the real English or to the actual English. Are there any favorite words or anything that you really like?
You mean g'day mate?
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely a lot of phrases that I've included in my vocabulary over the past 3 years. Mate, brekkie. So yeah, there's been some words which are really interesting to use and even hear. So yeah, it's actually fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually fun. Now moving on to the next question, which is about your full-time job. It's also an accomplishment. Congratulations on finding yourself a full-time job. So, how did you find yourself a full-time job? I know it's not very straightforward here in Australia. I think it's true for international countries. You don't have that scene of college placements or companies coming to your university to, for offering you placements or anything like that. You need to actually put yourself out there and find a job. So, we would love to know your approach and the kind of challenges that you met in finding yourself a job.
Yeah, so finding a full-time job, it's definitely something that's not very easy to do as an international student, because one of the key hurdles that one would face while trying to find a job is they need permanent residency or citizenship. There was this one form that I was filling in one time where the first question on the job application form was, are you a permanent resident or a citizen? I selected the no option, and after that the job application was over. They did not even ask my name. So yeah, that is a hurdle that one might come across. However, if your resume, your cover letter and your LinkedIn profile, they're up to date, and I actually worked a lot on these three aspects. So my resume, I had some of my friends proofread it, not 2, not 3, not 4, like multiple times. I used to keep irritating them at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the night. Can you please read this? Can you please read that? But in the end, that refined resume and those refined cover letters and a LinkedIn profile that is actually people can engage with, that actually recruiters can engage with. If a person has got these three things, I am very sure that it's not very difficult to get a job. Secondly, your interview skills and how well you're able to portray the technical skills that you've got. That's also very important in landing a job. So yeah, I think these are some of the aspects that I would outline to anyone who's trying to find a full-time job.
So you mentioned about permanent residency and citizenship. So that means there are companies that are ready to forego that kind of requirement. So there are companies out there that students can still apply at which don't have this hardcore residency requirement, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there's definitely a lot of companies out there, but what's difficult is you're finding a needle in a haystack, and it's the world's biggest haystack. And you'll try, and a lot of people, they might even get discouraged at one point that why am I not able to land a job? Am I not even that qualified? But it's all about just going in with the mindset that it's okay, if not this one, then another one. Because look, you're not a basketball player, you're not shooting hoops. You just need one job, you just need that one interview to hit. You don't need offer letters from every company everywhere.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you did. It would be very nice if you did, if you've got a lot of job offers. But yeah, it's just staying optimistic, staying on the path that you're on, and just always try and improve. If you think that, why did my interview go this way? And just think about what you did wrong, and then just try and do it better the next time, because the next time might be the one needle that you're actually trying to find.
Very well said. You backed that up with a good quote as well.
Yeah,
quite relatable.
I watched Dave Chappelle.
I am not sure whether viewers do, but yeah.
You should.
Yeah, so did you apply for a lot of jobs? Did you face a lot of rejections? Did you get reply for those applications?
Yeah, so as I said that you've got to keep applying jobs, because I started applying in like the 3rd or 4th week of my last semester.
Okay.
So that way I did not have to wait a lot. So as soon as my university finished, about 15 days after that, I started work.
Okay.
So that's...
I'll stop you right there,
Yep.
because that's like a very important tip, I think. So he started just before not exactly just, you started way before completing your graduation. Yeah. And I think you landed yourself a job right even before you went through with your convocation ceremony, right?
Yep.
You didn't even get your certificate, anything.
I did not even give my last semester's exam. I had a job offer before that. But
that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah. Yeah. So, are there any transferable skills that you got from your part-time jobs? Because you mentioned that you worked in a whole lot of part-time jobs. Do you think you achieved anything from those part-time jobs which helped you in getting this full-time job?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any job, if you're working anywhere, if you're interacting with people, you're always learning new things.
Yeah.
There's always tons of input coming in. Some input you will keep with you for the rest of your life. Some input you'll be like, okay, let's get it to the side. So yeah, there's definitely, I learned a lot of communication skills as one of my customer service jobs. I learned how to deal with difficult people at one of my customer service jobs at the petrol station job.
Okay.
So yeah, there are a lot of transferable skills. However, it depends on what kind of field you're going in. So if I was going into a hospitality field, all of the jobs that I've done over the past 3 years, they would have been very helpful. However, I went for a technical job. I went for a software developer. So in this case, yeah, my communication skills, they do matter for a software developer team or something. But it just depends what kind of job you're going for and what you've done in the past.
Okay, makes sense. Now moving on to the final question. What do you think of Australia as a country? Do you think coming here was the right decision?
Coming here was definitely the right decision, as it's made me a completely different individual to what I was about 3 years ago, about 4 years ago now. It's 2022, last I checked. Secondly, what is Australia? What is Australia? That's grammatically wrong. However, I will go on to say that it's a great country. A lot of people like to say that United States is a land of opportunity. I would like to add Australia to that list as well, because as I said at the beginning of this interview, that as long as you've got the skill and as long as you've got the conviction, you can do anything here and you can become anything over here. Third, I think it's a really good place for any individual to start their adult journey in, because when I came here, I had like just turned 18 and I started off here, and I think I've become a little bit more responsible than I was about 3 years ago. So yeah, it's definitely a really good place to not only polish your skills but also become a better human being, which sounds cringy, but it's true. I'm not kidding. Seriously.
Okay. We get it.
Thanks.
And with that, we come to the end of this video. Thank you so much, Milind, for being here and being willing enough to share your valuable insights from your experiences so far in this country. So, any final thoughts?
Yeah, so to all of your viewers, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
So, with whatever intention you're coming to Australia, it's a great place to live, it's a great place to grow, and it's a great place to learn. You're going to face a lot of challenges when you come here, for sure. And you're going to overcome those challenges as well, for sure. But just have fun along the way and just have fun. Yeah, that's what I would leave you with. Have fun.
Thank you so much, Milind. And I wish you all the very best in your future journey.
Thank you.
Whatever experiences you are yet to encounter in your life, I wish you the best of luck. So with that, we come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening to this whole video. I hope it was helpful. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to...
Oh yeah, sorry. Like, share and subscribe to NIM Sites for more NIM Sites. And yeah, have fun.
Thank you.
Content shared in this video is based on personal experience and research. If you enjoyed the video, like, share and subscribe. Keep watching, keep listening and continue learning.